call the meeting to order, please? I would like a motion, please, for the adoption of the agenda. And I believe that there is one amendment anyway, maybe two. Okay, moved by Councillor Blanchette and seconded by Councillor Torgerson, that the agenda be adopted as amended.
What are the amendments, please?
I have a letter to read into that was received late, and it's without prejudice, and it was requested to be read into the meeting tonight.
Okay,
Under item, let me look here. Under item 5.1. Okay.
Don't forget 8.3.
I've got 8.3, that's the permissive tax exemption policy. Okay, and that has an amendment to it as well?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and agenda item 8.3. Are there any questions or no? All in favor? Carried. Item 3.1, adoption of the minutes of the July 12, 2016 regular meeting of council. Councillors Salt and Reimer, are there any errors or omissions? Okay, all in favor? Carried. And agenda item 3.2, adoption of the minutes of the July 18, 2016 special meeting of council. Recommendation that council adopt the minutes of the July 18, 2016 special meeting of council. Salt and Blanchette. Any comment or did you have something?
We both do, but
You both
I'll
do.
let Councillor
Okay.
Torgerson go ahead.
Okay.
well, it's reflective on both regular and the in-camera, so I'll just begin with the regular. We had a vote to waive our 24 hours public notice of our special meeting, and that was conducted at noon. And then, Your Worship, you called the meeting to order by my recollection at that same time, noon, not 12:02.
Okay.
And then the notice to proceed in camera was moved, seconded, and carried, rather than just a recommendation that council proceed. It was actually moved and seconded under Resolution 2516. And I believe also then that particular meeting was called to order at 12:02.
So then we will adopt the minutes of the July 18 special meeting of council as amended. And Councillor Salt, you have an amendment
I
as well?
also as well, under Resolution 2416, adoption of the agenda, it has recommendation that council adopts. Again, it was moved, seconded, and carried.
Okay.
And then I'm sure we'll adjust at the bottom, it's still listing as Andrew Young as corporate officer for signing, so
I saw that too.
correct that.
I thought, oh.
That's all for me.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else further? Okay. And, okay, so we have our, it's been noted, I can see. Okay, anything further? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. And agenda item 3.3, recommendation that council accepts the Emergency Planning Committee meeting summary for information purposes. Salt and Torgerson. Do you have anything that you want to add to that at this time?
None at this time,
Councillors,
Your Worship.
not at this time? Okay. Well, I want to thank you both for, I was reading the notes on it. It was a long and detailed and involved meeting, so thank you very much.
I guess I would like to comment,
Yes.
if I may. For those that were able to make it, and even those who were not, I'd like to thank them for those in attendance and those who considered to attend. We couldn't have done it without them.
Okay.
And it's still in the preliminary stages, but we wish to be moving on it quickly.
Good, okay.
Your Worship.
Yes.
And it was also really good to actually put faces to the names. A lot of the names players in the game have changed since we last met a couple of years ago, so it was really good to meet some of the new people and make those connections and have some good discussion with them as well. So it was a good morning.
Thank you. So it's moving along satisfactorily in your opinion?
Yes. Get it chugging.
That's good, thanks. Okay, agenda item 5.1, and I have the letter here. That was,
Worship?
yes,
I'll move that we open for discussion.
okay, thank you. And moved by Councillor Torgerson and seconded by Councillor Salt that the Rainbow Crosswalk research and update be open for discussion. All in favour? Carried. I'll read the letter. This is the Mayor and Council. Actually, it's letter to Council, and Dear Madam Mayor, if you or one of Council can kindly read out the letter at the Council meeting, regards, Sean. And it's to Mayor and Council, Valemount, without prejudice. I understand that the consideration for the rainbow flag will be heard on Tuesday, 26 July 2016. I would have preferred to be at the hearing. Unfortunately, I have scheduled surgery for this day. So many residents of Valemount have approached me about this complex subject and asked me please to speak up, as they feel that they will be ostracized themselves. I want to make it very clear that I or my partner have never requested or canvassed funds for the rainbow flag crossing. Never is underlined. I have lived with my same-sex partner in Valemount since March 2007. We have been together for 27 years, and we have first-hand experience of rejection. We also can identify genuine acceptance. When we arrived, the people of Valemount were cautious about a so-called first gay male couple moving into their community. Over time, through education, questions, and exposure, we were accepted and shown genuine respect by all. We have noticed since then, all minority groups have been treated with kindness, acceptance, and tolerance. Valemount is unique and not just another town. The residents are very caring, compliant, and most of all, accepting. I have also noticed they hold on to their own values and opinions without causing uneasiness. Yes, some are modest, but not homophobic. To sum up the sincere comments, Valemount residents do not see it necessary to paint the rainbow flag downtown. The cost of maintaining it in the future can be used for more urgent matters within the community. Lastly, they feel that it will create more divide than acceptance. On behalf of the community that has approached me, I request that the rainbow flag not be painted at this time. I take this opportunity to thank the Mayor, Council, and the residents of Valemount for the consideration shown to us in the past. Yours sincerely, Sean Simon. So I would like a motion to receive his letter, and it is without prejudice, he said. Councillor Salt and Blanchette. Any discussion or just on receipt? You have something? No?
She was getting ready for the call.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. All right, we have three different options here for recommendation to council. What is council's wish? Councillor Blanchette?
It's open for discussion.
Well, we voted on opening it for discussion, and we voted on receipt of this, yes. So you do have, there are three options for recommendation.
Is that, so discussion is closed at this point then?
No, we can, I'll leave it open. Okay. Yes.
I'd like to acknowledge the strength and courage it took to bring this issue forward. It's an extremely sensitive issue for several different reasons, and I respect all of the reasons. But some of the concerns that I have are that it's precedent setting, and that we're a very small village and we have a very small budget. So those are the things I'm grappling with.
Anything further? Councillor Salt?
And I recognize that the proponents had indicated that it wasn't going to be any cost to the village and taxpayers. However, with some research, we can't just have anyone painting lines. We can't have just any kind of paint put down. So there will be a cost to the village budget and to the village taxpayers should this be done. So that's where I wanted to make sure that that was clarified too, is even though they expressed there wasn't going to be any cost, in the end there will be.
Thank you. Okay, what is council's wish with respect to the recommendations? Councillor Torgerson?
I move that we decline the request to paint a village crosswalk in a rainbow design.
Okay, moved by Councillor Torgerson, seconded by Councillor Reimer, that the request to paint a village crosswalk in a rainbow design be declined. Any further discussion? Councillor Salt.
I am grateful to have received that letter from Sean, because that was a question I had in my mind, and I did not want to bother them, but hearing from him directly, I wanted to know what other couple in the community, how they felt about it. Had they been consulted and talked to, rather than the public going to them after this was brought forward. So I was very grateful to receive that.
Yeah, it was a very moving letter, and it speaks very highly of Valemount and the people who reside therein. Okay, so is there any further comment or discussion? You're ready for the vote? All in favor? Carried. Reading file. Is there anything that council wishes to bring forward from the reading file? Councillor Salt.
The British Columbia Utilities Commission is requesting comments on residential inclining block list electricity rates, and it's specifically for communities that don't have access to natural gas, and it refers to the RCR, where it's the, sorry, let me find the right wording here, the tiered pricing essentially on our hydro bills. So highly recommend, and I don't know if this is on our website, I know it'll be on the agenda online, but highly recommend everyone in the community to give feedback and input to their requests for comments, see if we can't maybe get something done and changed with the tier structure that we're faced with here.
I think, would you like to make that motion, please?
To post it on the village
Yes.
website?
Yes.
I will make the motion.
I'll definitely second that.
Councillor Salt and Councillor Torgerson, that the letter from the BC Utilities Commission regarding the BC hydro rates for homes in a municipality where there is no natural gas, that we make it public to the residents so that they can reply and respond and give their thoughts. Yes.
And it is quite timely. Comments are written comments by email or mailed to the commission secretary on or before Monday, August 15th. So it is timely.
Yes. So, and I see that our media is busy writing things down, so I'm sure that it'll appear in there too. Okay. Okay. Any further discussion on that? Actually, I want to really commend the Utilities Commission. I will send them a brief note thanking them for undertaking that.
To recognize.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Anything further? Hearing none. All in favor? Carried. Anything further that council wishes to bring forward from the reading file? If not, we'll... Oh, okay, sorry.
I'd just like to congratulate Martin and Gord and VCTV on their launch of the digital channels. You know, we're moving forward.
Okay. Administrative reports, 8.1, official community plan review, CAO update, verbal report. The floor is yours, Mr. Macneill.
Okay. Well, I have followed up with some telephone calls to Urban Systems, who was recommended, and just to find out about the scope and process involved with the OCP so we could have greater clarity. What they've offered is that as kind of a first stage or first phase that they would come in and present with the council and the mayor, and go over for probably during an hour and a half meeting. August 9th or 10th would be their preferable dates that they're available. And they would go over things like, it would basically be a small, quick workshop on going over the process of updating the work plan, the consultation process, setting timelines based within budget and planning needs, identifying if there's external funding available or not, and a quick look at the budget. And those are the items they said to do up an agenda and present it to us. So they're available to come in on a preliminary basis on August 9th or 10th.
Wasn't it the 8th or the 9th? Was it the 9th or 10th?
I have the 9th. I have an email that
Oh,
came.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
There are other dates that would be August 29th, the week of August 29th or
No.
September.
No, it was, I believe that August the 9th is a council meeting, and so consequently, if they came earlier in that day or even during the noon hour period, if everybody's working, we could have a lunch together. And John Dumbrell has been coming here for many, many years. They did they consulted and did the first OCP for us in 1996, and it's just been reviewed and updated since. There hasn't been a new one since. However, with respect to the fact of staff doing all of the preliminaries and the challenges, there is too much on the plate with respect to a request for subdivision, that was handed in on June the 9th and still has not been accommodated, as well as the development downtown that has been in the works for 5 weeks, and it has not been looked after either. So staff really didn't have the time, and that's why I brought forward that just OCP be done by John Dumbrell when he comes. Okay? Anything further to report?
Oh, that's it.
That's it? Motion to receive, please. Blanchette and Reimer. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. 8.2, appointment of emergency management coordinator. We have two recommendations here. What is council's wish? Do you want to receive this for discussion first? Okay, moved by Councillor Blanchette, seconded by Councillor Torgerson, that this agenda item be received for discussion. Councillor Torgerson.
It is legislated that we do appoint. So, yep, we better be doing that.
Okay. Okay. Whom do you want to?
I recommend the CAO.
Okay. Okay. Councillor Salt, you? Okay. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Carried. There. You've just been assigned another.
Well, it comes with the position, so.
Yes, it does. Okay. Agenda item 8.3, permissive tax exemption policy. And if council wishes to discuss anything here or ask our financial officer, then let's make a motion to receive this first. Blanchette and Salt. Okay? I believe that there is an amendment to this because one of the exemptions, the property was sold last year.
It's in red.
Okay, good. Okay, so that's, yes. Any questions, council?
Comment, Your Worship.
Yes.
Up until now, the Village of Valemount, as a board member sitting on the VARTA Board of Directors, Valemount has been recognized as the one and only diamond sponsor, and it's the board's wish that this continue through a tax exemption.
We had a telephone conversation with the editor of the Jasper Fitzhugh today for probably a good 45 minutes, and I invited Curtis Paul out to join us, and it was very good. And in fact, the editor comes here and bikes himself. So, okay, if there's no further questions, yes.
Do we know what kind of an impact a reduced exemption amount would give? So if it, like for each 5%, do we have any idea?
If Ms. Macneill is present, she could probably answer that.
The current report has 75%.
Do you have any idea how?
I would have to recalculate it for you and bring it forward to the next meeting if you'd like.
So if we have a total of 18,254, And if that was reduced, say, by 5 or 10, you know, even 5% is $900. A little more than 900, about $1,000. And I see that Councillor Salt is calculating there too.
Actually, I've just realized too, we haven't had any, not that I'm aware of, it hasn't been relayed to council of any complaints from the citizens about these exemptions, so
No.
I just thought I'd raise those points.
Okay. Well, and we have saved a few $100s by the one property being sold. Okay? What is council's wish? Do you want to approve as, yes?
I'd like to approve as, continue the exempt on the churches, seniors housing and all 3 nonprofits, and include BARDA at 75% for the 2017 tax year.
Okay. Hold that thought. I'm going to take a vote on the receipt and discussion. Carried. And now you are making your the motion to approve, and Councillor Salt seconds. Any discussion under this motion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Bylaws and policies, agenda item 10.1. Village of Valemount Development Procedure Amendment Bylaw number 756, 2016. We have a recommendation that council gives first and second reading to Bylaw 756, 2016, or first and second reading with revisions as put forth by council, or decline the proposed amendment. What is council's wish? Councillor Torgerson?
I move that we give first and second reading to the Village of Valemount Development Procedures Amendment Bylaw 756.
Second, Councillor Blanchette. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. 10.2, review of policy 5, municipal grant requests. We have a recommendation that council approves policy number 5 with respect to municipal grant requests as presented, or amendments, or rescind. What is council's wish? Councillor Blanchette.
I'll move the approval of policy 5.
Okay, seconded.
I have some concerns with it.
Okay, if I have a seconder, we can discuss it then. Okay? Okay, Torgerson. And it's open for discussion.
It's referring to the Municipal Act, which we no longer go by. So the section 328 of the Municipal Act doesn't exist.
Okay.
So,
The community charter now.
yeah, so
The restricting one.
we need to maybe send this back to staff
Okay.
to have them find the appropriate section of the act.
Okay, so,
That might be the Local Government Act.
It might even be the Local Government Act, actually, yeah.
Yeah, so
Local
if it's-
Government
if
Act
it's that
actually
high in the
replaces
act,
that.
it'll be
Yeah.
Local Government Act. Section 328.
okay, so it would be, actually, I can just take, one councillor needs to move that we defer it.
You're gonna have to defeat the first motion.
Yeah.
What you really want is to check the most current, recent
Yes.
legal
Yes, that's
reference.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all in favor of,
We'll have to oppose.
yes, that's fine.
First motion.
Okay. Nobody in favor, opposed? Carried. All right, and a motion please to refer it back to staff. Okay, Salt and Reimer. Any discussion under that? No, hearing none, all in favor? Carried.
Catch.
10.3, proposed amendment to policy 60, employees code of conduct. Okay, the recommendation is that council approves the changes to the employee code of conduct policy, and so we need to rescind policy number 60 first. What is council's wish? Councillor Torgerson?
I move that we approve the changes and rescind the current policy.
Seconded by Councillor Blanchette. Open for discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Council reports. we'll start with Councillor Reimer, Blanchette, Salt and Torgerson.
Went early for breakfast yesterday, showed up an hour early.
Did you get a good seat?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I gave my guest a tour of the village in that hour. Yeah. If that were where he was from, we'd be sitting in traffic for about 5 blocks. But and so yeah, so we had breakfast at the Legion, put on in the chamber, and of course our MLA was there and our Member of Parliament, and it was very well attended. And then Valemount Community Forest barbecue at the park. It was again very well done, and that was I was encouraged by the good turnout that we had there. It was excellent.
It was suggested that it become an annual event. Yes. They said, well, you've done 2 years in a row now, why stop?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Councillor?
So I had the same meetings as Councillor Reimer, but in between that, we met here with our MP and Minister Bond, Council and Mayor, and on the 14th, I had a Children and Youth Mental Health teleconference. That's it.
Thank you. Councillor Salt?
On the 15th, we had our emergency management planning meeting. And then on the 19th, I had a Valemount Children's Activity Society Board meeting. And on Monday, along with the rest of council, unfortunately unable to make the breakfast, but was there for our meeting here in council chambers with Minister Bond and MP Bob Zimmer, and then also at the barbecue as well, and very well attended, and it was nice to see everyone out, and I think people are really beginning to enjoy it, so it was a good idea to maybe continue.
Yes.
And I'm here tonight.
Yes. Thank you. Councillor Torgerson?
On the 14th, I had a meeting with Debbie Alexander of the EMBC, as well as with our staff person, Donnie McLean, to get an overview of what we could be expecting for our next day meeting for the Emergency Management Committee meeting. On the 18th, I was here for a special meeting of council. I was at the barbecue yesterday, and I'm here before you today.
Thank you. Well, I attended all those same ones. An extra meeting with Miles Bruns from Minister Bond's ministry and Regional District of Fraser Fort George. And we had an excellent board meeting there as well. And it's been, and Columbia Basin Trust teleconference. So saved me a lot of travel. But I was pleased to be able to participate via teleconference. So it was an excellent barbecue. I want to really commend the Valemount Community Forest, as well as the very special ladies that cooked the hamburgers. It was all very well done. Thank you. Okay. If there's nothing further, I'll take a motion, please, to receive the reports. Salt and Torgerson, all in favor? Carried. List of outstanding previous council resolutions, agenda item 13.1. Council's wish.
That we accept the list of outstanding previous council resolutions.
Okay. Moved by Councillor Salt and seconded by Councillor Torgerson that council accepts the list of outstanding previous council resolutions. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. And agenda item 15.1, public comments. So, are there any people who want to make some public comments? Yes, please rise.
Hi, I'm Ashwin Ryan, living at 66 Elm Street, and I just have a comment about the Rainbow Crosswalk. So I had an opportunity to look into the agenda and read the staff report, and with due respect to staff, I was a little disappointed about a couple of things. One, it was just a report based on totally economic terms, and obviously there are many things that council considers that are more than economic. there's social, there's environmental. Just looking at the permissive tax bylaw is an example of that. So I was disappointed that those aspects hadn't been addressed in the report for council to consider. And second thing was, in terms of legal precedents, I think it was inaccurate, the report. There are rainbow crosswalks in Prince George, Gislimberti, Castlegar, Kelowna, Vancouver, and many other communities. So on these couple of things, I was disappointed, and there's no mention about what the impacts are from such. And I respect council decision. It's not about the decision itself, but information available to council to make the decisions. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'd like to thank Mayor and Council for, again, waiving the sugar taxes for the wine, so thank you so much. And thank you for your kind comments regarding the barbecue yesterday.
Thank you. Any further comments?
Okay, my name is Gail Burbage and my address is 1112 8th Avenue. Not surprising, I'm extremely disappointed with the decision of Mayor and Council tonight, and I have the following to say. I'm sure your decision has been reached in part, large or small, because of the research presented to you by, respectfully, Mr. Mark Macneill. I would like to address some of the points raised. Myself and Mandy were very explicit in stating we would not be seeking village or taxpayer monies. Therefore, it doesn't have any place in your report. It is irrelevant. Additionally, we have never stated there would be more than one rainbow crosswalk, never even hinted at it. So, and I quote, one rainbow crosswalk with the possibility of requests for more in the future is in fact your personal opinion. With respect, you go on to say the painting of the crosswalk is viewed by some as a risk to public safety because of its non-standard safety design. Can someone please tell me what standard safety design this crosswalk currently has at the moment? I quote you once more, Mr. Macneill, if a crosswalk is changed from a standard highway marking design, we aren't planning on changing it because there isn't a standard design now. A driver that strikes a pedestrian right now can have the same defence that is being thrown against us. They didn't realise it was a crosswalk. Where was the research into the positive aspects of a rainbow crosswalk? There is in fact a City Lab report undertaken for Edmonton City Council into lessons learned from the rainbow crosswalks that they put in June 2015. By the way, a simple Google search found this document. I didn't have to dig very deep. I quote from the findings. Overall, the rainbow crosswalks did not reduce pedestrian safety. The overall public response was overwhelmingly positive, and the observed motorist behaviour was consistent, where people felt the rainbow crosswalks made intersections safer and were not a distraction. When we first presented to Council, we did in fact agree with the New Life Centre on the subject of public input, so therefore why have Council and Mayor not proactively sought public input? Other municipalities have run surveys, why didn't we do this? Wouldn't you prefer to be known as the smallest BC community to implement a rainbow crosswalk, rather than be buried hidden in the list of BC communities that didn't do it? Don't you want people coming here just to have a photo of themselves with the rainbow crosswalk? And if it comes down to an issue of proclamation or symbolisation, have a thought for the current symbols already in place around this village. Surely we are not a village of double standards. And in response to Sean's letter, I sincerely hope Council and Mayor do not place Sean and his lifetime partner above myself and Maddie. I urge Council and Mayor to reconsider. We are not going away. Thank you for listening.
Anybody further? And please, these comments are to be restricted to 1 minute. Okay? Is there anybody else who wishes to make comment?
2 minutes.
Oh, is it 2 minutes? I understood 1. Okay. And I'm sorry about that. Yes.
I would like to read a letter for my son. His name's Dakota Stone. He was raised here. He says, please accept my letter of support in regards to Valemount considering a rainbow crosswalk. As I write this letter, it is a start of Pride Week in Vancouver, a great time where the LGBTQ2 get to celebrate many obstacles they have overcome. I grew up in Belmont, and as a gay youth in Belmont struggled with the fact that it wasn't the norm and that I possibly was the only one. I feared if anyone ever found out about me being gay, I'd no longer be accepted by the community. Even still coming home, I get that anxiety. Bit by bit, I'm getting more comfortable coming home and going out with my peers. But I shouldn't be that way. I should always feel comfortable coming home to the place where the village helped raise me and made me the young man I am today. It wasn't until I moved away and started to date my husband. With that came a whole lot of complications coming out to friends and family. In the end, it was all overthought in my head. Had I known that my peers and family would have accepted me being gay, I would not have struggled as much mentally as I did in high school. A rainbow crosswalk isn't an in-your-face statement. A rainbow crosswalk shows acceptance for youth who struggle with their sexuality. It could literally mean saving their lives. It could show youth that the community that they live in supports them. And if they need to talk to somebody, they will feel that they can. It is also be a strong visual that shows tourists that Valemount is a loving community that accepts everyone and that they are all welcome.
Any further comments?
Yep. My name is Management and I'm living at 1112 8th Avenue. I had a lot of stuff I was going to say, and I'm not going to say most of it because I'm disappointed in your no verdict for the crosswalk, but I'm not surprised. But I can honestly say that I have never ever said anything derogatory about anybody's religious beliefs or anything along there, because I have my religious beliefs too, and I stand by what everybody else believes. But I don't know whether or not everybody's aware, but I've been talking to a certain lady from Prince George recently, and she works for the school district, and she works as a teacher for inclusivity. Her name is Susan Tavant, very nice young lady, and she has been asked by the school district to come to Valemount to work with the children in the schools, because the LGBT community does exist and it wants to be included. These kids want the older generation of the world as well as this village to accept these guys. And this is not actually a fight with people's beliefs, but it is a promise to the future generation that I care. Thank you.
Any further comments? Okay. Hearing none, I'll take a motion, please, to receive the public comments. Torgerson and Salt. All in favor? Carried. Agenda item 16.1, notice to proceed to in-camera meeting. Recommendation that council proceed to an in-camera council meeting for consideration of 2 items per section 91A and J of the community charter to discuss matters related to A, personal information about an identifiable individual who holds or is being considered for a position as an officer, employee, or agent of the municipality of another position appointed by the municipality. And J, information that is prohibited or information that if it were presented in a document would be prohibited from disclosure under Section 21 of the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act. Salt and Torgerson. All in favor? Carried.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.